on for Rivers. Can he get to it? And he does. What a catch by Mickey Rivers. What a play.
And folks, you know, that's how he was earned the nickname Mick the Quick with plays like that. That, of course, was in the 1978 ALCS against the Kansas City Royals, which the Yankees would go on to win. And he's had a tremendous baseball career. He's a two-time world champion with the Yankees. He's had stops in California, Texas, but he is affectionately a New York Yankee to many Yankee fans. And it is my honor to introduce to you Mick the Quick, Mickey Rivers. And Mickey, I want to thank you for coming on today. It's a real pleasure.
Well, thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to come on, and talk to the New York fans. I want them to understand that they got a great team and they're playing great.
Yeah, 20-8 right now. And I mean, there's a lot to look forward to in Yankee land. And let me ask you this, Mick. How did the love for baseball begin for you?
Well, mostly through my grandparents. My grandmother used to just take me, I used to live with her and take me to the ballpark every day to play football, run track, basketball, just from work. Each day after school, she'd take me. Never played baseball like that. Got into baseball kind of late, Mike.
Right.
But other sports, I thought I was very grateful for that.
Right. And let me ask you, Mick, did you play football and basketball in high school, or was it strictly baseball?
No. Baseball, the last year, the coach called my parents and asked me, well, they wanted my parents to let me play baseball. Never played baseball in high school till the senior year. They got me football,
Wow.
ran track, basketball.
So that's pretty impressive, Mick, because I mean, to not play baseball till your senior year and then to go pro and stuff like that. I mean, that's a credit to you, the athlete. I mean, that's a great story. I mean, usually that doesn't happen a lot. So, I mean, that's a pretty unique way to get into the game of Major League Baseball.
Well, like I said again, I was my love of football. Used to go see a lot of football games and stuff like that. My parents used to take me to a lot of the local games, the high school games, and the college game. When, like the Rattlers come in, that FAMU comes in, I know when they had Bob Hayes over there, one of my idols, who I worked with for many years, got me into really running sports rides.
Right. And let me ask you, I mean, being that fast like you were, I mean, did you run track at all? I mean, because somebody that fast.
Track was number one. Like I said again, if you look up Bob Hayes, he was one time the world's fastest man in the world at one time. And then he used to work with me, train me, and got me in conditions, told me the things and taught me the things I need to know to get to that spot.
Right. But what's really remarkable, Mick, is the fact that to not play baseball, again, like you said, till your senior year, it's one thing to be a fast runner because you had that speed, but to be so gifted as a hitter, an outfielder, stuff like that, I mean, that's, like I said, a credit to you, but that really is a credit to the people that coached you as well and got you prepared because, I mean, it doesn't happen by accident.
Well, definitely, Mike. And see, my key thing was I wasn't afraid to ask guys that I see was greater and what it takes to get to where they got. I asked questions to any of them. I see these guys doing good. I remember I went up to Brooke Robinson and asked him about feeling, what he looked for, and all the stuff like that. And a lot of my high school guys and teen guys, they thought that was crazy. Oh man, you go out to the guys, that's the yeah. And I thought that was the key to make at that time to make you a better ball player. You had to ask the question to get there, to get some of the answers, and you try them out. Everything don't work for you, but you still have to just try it out and make things, fit your mold. You're trying to fit the mold of making the major leagues a better league at the time.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, you went pro right out of high school, right? You didn't play any college baseball?
Yeah, I went to Dade, Miami-Dade, and Bucky, like Bucky Dent family, and them give me my break, you know, to get me in through there to help me out doing them 2 years I went there, and to move a little more, give me a scholarship. Never got the scholarship. Give me a job in the evening.
Right.
You know, I went to school 12:30, got out, did a little work at the school, around the school, go to baseball practice every day, the same routine. I know back one day I got out there after work. I went to work. The practice started. I got to work by 2:00. Practice started 3:30. I went up there, went under the tree, and fell asleep out there. Before practice started. Oh, you talking about some amazing guys? Always got on me about that. They had to come out there and wake me up. Hey. But you know, that's the enjoyment of the game.
Right, and you originally were drafted by the Atlanta Braves, correct?
Correct. The Braves.
Yeah. So I mean,
I tell you, I want to sign with the Mets. The Mets wouldn't. My parents asked me to get the $2,400 for the school in the school, and when they put me through that last year, and they wouldn't get a $2,400, and I guess I couldn't sign with AG and them, Tommy AG and all the guys, the good guys over there at the time. And I used to talk to them guys too. They used to love me.
Right. Now it's pretty funny too, because you know it's crazy how things work out sometimes. But had you been in the Braves system for a long time, I mean, you would have probably got to play with Hank Aaron a little bit, and I know that would have.
What amazing about that, you know, I got over there, went to training, Hank was there, and as the young guys, you know, we thought about, only thing I know is just hit the ball and run, didn't know no basic structures, how the basic routine, and he told us one day, me and a couple of guys in the clubhouse, Dusty Baker, Ralph Gar, Sonny Jackson. And Sonny was probably the more teacher for us at that time, because we know Sonny more than we know anybody else on the team. And he just guided us through there.
Yeah, and the thing is too, Mick, is that so many of these guys, I mean, they came through the minor league system, and I mean, they really because they were great players out of high school, out of college, but I mean, really, people don't realize how beneficial being in the minors is, because it really kind of teaches you what's in store for you when you get to the big leagues.
Well, definitely, Max. That's what I'm trying to say, you know. And no, it takes a little time. You got to get a little learning. And back then, it wasn't so easy as that these guys going straight out of high school now, Mike, to the pros, you know. It's much easier. We set that tone, and they set that tone for me, and then my trend set that tone for them. You know, we always set a tone for the guys to make it easy for the baseball players. You know, you don't have to come out of the minor leagues no more. They can come straight up if you got that talent.
Right. And I brought this up to Doc Gooden because, again, he came out when he was on the Mets, I think 19 years old. So he got to the majors pretty quick. But I think about how young you guys were, and no GPSs back then. And I mean, you had to be responsible for so many things, because I'll tell you what, sometimes a kid 19, 20 years old, he's not the best driver in the world either. He's still kind of learning. And the stuff that you guys had to do, you had to grow up pretty quick to be a Major League Baseball player.
Well, one key thing to that, Mike, you know, can't be scared to, like I said again, you know, you ask questions to the guys that you know. I asked about Frank Robinson, Vader Pinson, Tommy Harper, Otis. And Otis, he was a great with Kansas City. And I asked questions to anybody that could help me. Murray Wills used to come out there and work with me on my base running in California. You know, guys like that, you know, you love them, and you had to listen at the time. You know, guys that had the talent. And hey, I want to know how they got to that point, what they looked for, what they did, how to get to that point to be successful. And you got to ask questions like that. You can't be successful no other way than you ask questions to learn things.
Right. And Mick, I know you ended up going to the California Angels, and you would really start to get noticed there. And I think originally you were like a part-time player. You weren't an everyday player. But I think it was, 1974 when you played a full season with them?
Start playing regular. You know, start playing regular. You know, I was hitting 300 each of them years till I got steady to playing. Didn't tell you. They think it's so easy to go out there and get that 1 for 4 each day, 1 for 3. It's kind of tough, Mike. You got to study and work. And the key thing, Mike, now these days, you can watch the guys, and like I said, we had a lot of veterans there, and the players was numerous at that time, maybe a quarter. You had a quarter of players at the time, and you just had to work hard to try to stay above water there.
Right. And let me ask you, Mick, who were some of the players you played with early on with the Angels? I mean, I know as time went on, Don Baylor became a very good player for them.
Mhm.
Obviously, Nolan Ryan pitched with them, and that's
Oh,
where he
definitely.
really got his career going. But talk about some of the players you played with the Angels.
Well, like I said again, I had a guy, Tommy Harper out there. I had Frank Robinson. I had Vader Pinson, and Sandy Alomar was my great teacher. He had worked with me every day since he was there playing. And Jim Fregosi, he really got the manager to look at me and say, well, since we're playing bad, we just have to put the kids out there, let him play. He's doing a great job. And, and you look for that. And so, you didn't want to dishonor them guys because them guys who you look at was your heroes at the time there. And that's what you got to do.
Right. And let me ask you this, Mick. I've always wondered about this. A batter, when he's up at the plate, he cannot be thinking about how fast the pitcher throws. He might hit him, stuff like that. It's remarkable to me because so many times I would see Mike Piazza get drilled, and then he might go and hit a home run the next at bat. And Reggie was famous. Reggie was famous for that. But you can't be successful in the major leagues if you're going to think about the pitcher hitting you, correct?
No. And that's when I know the tough pitchers like Palmer, Catfish, and Fergie and Gaylord and Quay, when them guys got tough, I thought about it. I said, oh my God, I had to figure out some idea how to make sure I could get on them guys. And like I said, I bunt, that takes away a lot of strain on them because, I make them play my game. I know the great pitchers are going to do what they got to do anyway. That's why they were so successful. So I had to change velocity for me. What the type of player I was, I know I get on. I got to try to worry these great pitchers, because I want to be on base, scoring the first run, getting ahead of them. And I know it's much easier for us to play at the team with the team I had, much easier to play about 5 or 6 great endings, to try to win. These guys, it was tough. It was tough with these great pitchers and these great players playing at the time I come through.
Right. And Mick, before we get to the big year in 1975, I wanted to ask you this because it's been a lot of debate since now it's become a full-time thing in baseball. The DH came around in 1973. I think Ron Bloomberg ended up being the first DH, but the National League fan is kind of disappointed. They wanted it to be where the pitcher stays back.
No, they didn't want that DH.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. What do you think? I mean, every part of baseball, high school, Little League, whatever, they used the DH. The only one that wasn't was the National League. So how do you feel about it? Do you think it was the right move to make it a universal DH?
Well, at the time, I thought it was terrible, but it gave a lifeline program to one of the guys that really hits, wasn't playing no defense or offense, and could really hit. Bloom, he could do both, Ronnie. He could do a little both, but he was setting that tone. That DH, when that DH come out, that was the perfect spot for him because he could hit all day, and that's what he loved to do.
Right, and I think it extends careers too because I think
extended a lot of guys' careers extended. It extended a lot of guys over them 4 years, made it a little scratch over 8 years, something like that. Especially in the American League, the National League, it was kind of tough because they didn't have that. The guys. If you hit bad, hey, they're looking for a replacement that next day. In the National League, I was so glad I got out of the National League in the minors with Atlanta. They had a great team, but I say, look, oh my God! I looked at them guys and look at all the players and watch Rico Carty win a batting title in 67, 68. I said, oh my God. He won the batting title. He hit about 312, so a low number in the 300s won that batting title. I know it's tough.
Right. So let's get to 1975 because that was really the breakout year for Mickey Rivers. I think you had 70 stolen bases that year. You led the American League in both stolen bases and triples. And of course, I think you batted around 312. And then the best part of it was, I mean, you really kind of felt like now you're a part of the game. You could be a big player in it. So talk about the 75 season a little bit.
Well, definitely, after doing okay job, or for me, that was okay job because I always attend my good things and stealing bases. I wanted to set the tone. And I had a lot, like I said again, I had a lot of guys over there, veterans, really pushed me. Tommy Hopper pushed me. Rick Robinson pushed me. Vader Benson pushed me.
Yeah.
Sandy Alomar pushed me every day. He was there pushing me. Come on, kid, you can do this. You get on. We're going to get the run. We got a chance to win. And we had good pitchers, Clyde Wright. You had Jared Wright dad over there at the time where he really wanted me to play. Hey, put this kid in when I pitch, and I ain't never heard nothing like that, And he wanted me to go out there and play because get on base. They pitch 5 innings, and back then, you pitch 5 innings, you got a greater chance in winning as a day. I can't complain about the day. Different varies, but then them guys pitching 5 innings was bad for them when they come out with 5 innings pitching. They guys pitch 66 or 7 or 8 innings. I watched them guys pitch that regular basic back then, and that's what was great about it. That's what you wanted to get on them. That's why I improved, because I had guys around me made me better at the time, stealing bases, going in the outfield, learning how to move in the outfield, watching the hitters, doing all the little things. And I say again, Alomar, Sandy Alomar, senior. He pushed me. Come on, Mr. Tide, man. Come on, let's go. 1-2 punch.
Yeah. And the thing is, Mick, you had 70 stolen bases that year. And of course, we know what Rickey Henderson would do, and we knew what Lou Brock did. But one thing that is kind of a little disappointing nowadays in baseball is guys really don't steal like they used to. And I don't feel like they take advantage of what is stolen, how it could help a team stealing bases. Because, I mean, it gives you that. It turns a single into a double. It turns a double into a triple. And we don't see it enough in the game anymore. I mean, why do you think that has happened?
Well, Mike, now mostly teach the guys just hit the ball hard and deep. They started to swing the bat. They don't want to see the guy get the walks no more. They want to see the guy hitting the ball. And everybody hitting the ball now want to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They're trying to crush the ball. And, maybe it's wrong. And you can see certain issues. And you look at the team. You want to be a table setter. That's what they needed. Guys to get on, create all the little things like that. But if you watch most of these teams now, you got 4 and 5 guys hit 20 home runs on them teams now. Nobody want to steal no base. Nobody want to hit through the shift. All of those things now is out of there. It eventually come back where the guy gonna steal the base and be the table setter again. It'll come back.
Yeah, because we don't even see guys bunt anymore, hardly ever.
No.
I mean, occasionally, but it's like you said. I mean, the only time you see the bunt really is when they put that ghost runner. They put the ghost runner at second. That's the only time you see it. And the bunt was such a big part of the game. I mean, so many teams were successful with it, and it's like we don't see it ever anymore.
It'll change back. That culture come back now. Right now, we cared about the stats, and you got a lot of these guys. Now I ain't care about the stats because we as baseball players grow into money.
Yeah.
So they say, hey, for me to earn money, I got to hit the ball, do this. Instead of saying the little guy steal bases, no, that's out. Get on base. That's out. I got to hit the ball to be successful, and that's the velocity they're using right now. Anytime you see somebody, they swinging, they trying to hit the ball instead of saying, "Hey, I get on, I create this." No, don't do that no more. No running, no bunting, no hitting the shift.
And what do you think about the analytics, Mick? I mean, I hate this thing where they think the pitcher can't pitch to somebody 3 times. That's
I can't believe it. The left-handed, since he left-handed, I got to use the left-handed pitcher. Oh, this guy don't hit the ball outside the analytics and took it away from him. I know when we threw there, they had the Byron chart, like they had the analytics. Oh, well, 2 days, he need a rest. He played 3 straight days, he need a break. No. And it's so bad, but it's all over. Each team doing it. When you going to see a complete football player now? All these guys want to play, then the guy want to be off, then the guy want to DH. No, you got to play every day to be successful. You got to go out there and work hard. Just work hard. Just do the things that got you there. What I teach the guys now. What got you here? Do the things that got you there. Don't stop doing the things that got you there. When you get there, a lot of guys that stop doing the things that got you there. I'm gonna do the little things. I ran. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the things that got me there. You still learn the process. I learned how to play outfield with Roy White. I said, I see you got to get different guys play different, and he taught me a lot, and I learned a lot.
Right. So let's talk about 1976, Mick, because it ended up being the best thing to happen for your career. But at the time, it's crazy to think you could have the year you had in 75 and then you get traded. But you get traded to the New York Yankees. I believe Ed Figueroa came with you, and Bobby
Correct.
Bonds. You guys came for Bobby Bonds, who was originally.
I came for a great player. Bobby was my idol. Bobby was one of the greatest ball players I'd seen to work, lead off, taught me, work with me. When it come around, Bobby be working out there in California, teaching me all these little things to do.
Yeah.
And to come over there for him, hey, I told him, hey, why don't keep Bobby? I can play with Bobby. I know Bobby,
Yeah.
I was disappointed in that. Me coming over to Bobby, I hated. You don't know how bad I hated. But then I learned to accept it. And he told me himself, he said, I want you to come on over here and do a good job like you always do. We talked about this. I said, if Bobby there, don't you think me and Bobby there, if we could run this team, in that nature.
Right. And the crazy thing is Bobby had gotten traded to the Yankees for Bobby Mercer, who was a very popular Yankee. And Bobby was a very popular Giant. So the Giant fans weren't happy and the Yankee fans weren't happy. And Bobby didn't have a bad year in 75. He had a good year he had a real good year for the Yankees.
Yeah, I think he hit over 20 home runs, didn't it?
Yeah. And, let's not forget, I know you talked about people hitting home runs all the time. If you hit 20 to 25 home runs back in the 70s, that was like hitting 40 to 45.
That was amazing. People don't understand that 25 home run. Shoot, you could be a king of home run hitter.
Yeah, and let's not forget, before Rickey Henderson, Bobby had the all-time record for leadoff home runs. Yeah, so I mean, very great. It's sad sometimes because his son was such a great athlete that people tend to forget what a great player Bobby was. But I mean, Bobby was phenomenal. But let me ask you, Mick, you come to the Yankees, a lot of things were a first that year. The new renovated stadium, that was a first. The team gets back to the playoffs, that was a first in a long time. And the thing is, too, Mick, when you have the name that you have, it brings a lot of expectations because you played center field, which another Yankee by the name of Mickey had a great. So let me ask you, I mean, was there any pressure when you first came to the Yankees in 76?
Well, no, Mike, it wasn't no pressure because I know I had a family and I know I had to go out there and produce to stay there, feed the family at the time. That's my philosophy of thinking. I know that I need to go out there and I need to work hard. And I had guys that was amazing that I played against that I know could play and pitch well. So that was just a plus right there. Put me with a guy, Chris Stamers. I know he could hit.
Thurman.
He was dominant. when Gator started to make the move, hey, that was a plus because I brought Figueroa over, and I know Figueroa could pitch.
Oh yeah.
All
And
you
I
had to
mean,
do is get him a couple of runs, and Mike not complaining. They go six innings, they might get in trouble in 7 or something like that. You know, I know these guys pitch 7 innings. We looking at the closing now. They now, well, not complaining. You
but
need
yeah,
a
I mean,
long reliever and another pitcher to get to the 5 or 6 innings.
yeah. And I mean, you talk about those bullpen guys, and I know I don't want to get into it too much, but I know Goose Gossage, he gets very bitter because he remembers that he pitched 3 or 4 innings to get a save.
Right.
And there's always been debate about that. But I mean, back then, those closers, I mean, they were pitching sometimes 3 or 4 innings.
You missed 2 or 3 innings. 2 or 3 innings, but not complaining, not trying to say nobody complain, because I love baseball and I love the guys that played. They've been so great to me in and out, especially all the guys in the league, you know, you could talk to and they ask you questions. So, you know, you feel good about that. I tell you, I never had a problem with Posada. And I looked at him, I had him in the cage, you know, went over there to coach one year and down there and training. And then in the cage, I said, it's time to go here. Joe said, go back there and work these guys out and do this, put them in the cage. And I said, oh, no, guys don't want to do all this. And he looked at me, oh, you know my dad and Uncle Leo. Yeah, never had problems out of him.
Yeah.
You know, never had to say that to him. Paul, hey, I tell you, that was a tough player when he got over there with Paul O'Neill. Get him in the cage. That's all he want to do here. I said, man, it's amazing. Never had the problems out of the guys that you say, oh my God. How about Sheffield? Add Sheffield over there. Put him in the cage. I said, hey, you know, Joe got the program. Let's go. Hit, run around, change up. No headaches. And then the guys, you thought you have headaches. I had Sheffield, Strawberry.
Yeah.
And then I went over there with the pitcher with PFP. When I had to go over there, I said, okay, now this is what I'm stealing off. I'm watching this. I'm watching this on you like that.
Right.
It was amazing. It was amazing with them guys, that bunch right there. I tell you, it wasn't, oh, you know, everybody get mad. Everybody get mad when you tell them they force. But they say, oh, that's it. Okay, good. And they learn. They want to learn. And that's why that bunch was so successful. And that's why, like I say again, I was successful because I picked up on a lot of these guys. Like Bonds are coming there, and I asked him questions, and that was great. And that's what you want to do. These guys have the knowledge. Them the guys looking at. You're scared to ask Mays. You're looking at Mays, and you wonder how he playing. And I watched down in Palm Springs. I never forget that when we had to went out there and play. And I said, "Oh, let's look at it." I want to say, "Oh man, you know, it was amazing. One of the best players in history. You know, you're watching and you learning." Tito said, "Hey, ask him a question." McCovey, how about McCovey? I'm just throwing some names at you right now. Well, I'm just telling you how I need to work and ask questions when I need to learn to. I asked, and I had one of the best guys over there with me that would teach me the rest what I need to learn from the rest of them. It was Sandy Alomar. You know, and come on, Mr. Tired, man, every day. And when Nolan got over there, how you think Nolan made progress? Nolan got over there, he worked. Nolan worked hard every day. I watched this guy work hard every day. That's why he got more successful, because he worked hard every day. Hey, I'm finna run. I said, run. He'll run out the ballpark all day. Every day, did the same routine. And that's why he was so successful.
Right. And Mick, let me ask you, I mean, your first year, you play for a tough manager, but a very good baseball mind in Billy Martin. And I know people loved Billy, people didn't like Billy, but I mean, one thing you got to say is the guy knew baseball and his players played for him as well.
Mike, again, he know what he was doing, and he know baseball, so he couldn't hurt you in the baseball sense. My key thing is he didn't care what you were or who you were. If you could play, he gonna give you the opportunity, chance to go out there and prove you to yourself. Billy didn't take you out the lineup because favoritism, this and that and that. He put you in the lineup because you could play. He didn't go through the go, oh, well, this guy this and this guy that. No, he put you in there because you could play and he know talent. That's why he was successful everywhere he went, because he know this guy. He get a lot of guys by nature a start because he let them go ahead out there. Okay, hey, do it yourself.
Yeah.
And give me opportunity, chance to go out there and do this. And that's why he was so successful. Not only me, I seen he get a lot of people's uh, extra chances to go out there and work and do what they could do best.
Right. And Mick, I mean, a great 76 season. I mean, the Yankees had not won the pennant since 1964. So for a Yankee fan and being so used to that team winning, that was a long time. And you guys really needed to do that. But talk about that year and talk about, you know, you made the All-Star team for the first time that year. That had to be a thrill. And just seeing that team throughout the season battle, and, you know, finally getting over the hump.
Like I said, again, Mike, these guys was, if you watch any position, these guys with 1 and 2 in all the positions, yeah, like not complaining that, you know, he's 1 and 2 in third baseman. Yeah, Chris Chalmers, he about 1 and 2 in first baseman and could hit.
Yeah.
And like again, I said, you know, we had Roy White was an established player that played.
Very underrated player.
Underrated with the team like that and get the job done every time he stepped in. And the guy could hit and hit and hit was Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
You know,
always.
He was a natural hitter, but been proven over and over and over. Then I just, all you could say, you guys, hey, man, this guy don't want to play every day. But I mean, I couldn't see it, Mike, the tuning. But as for the team wise, you know, I had to get out there and do what I got to do every day. If I have to mess up, this what I go back to Billy. Billy, see, you go out there and get a man 100%. Hey, I can look in the mirror. I look in the mirror every day. I go out there, I give him 100%. When I didn't have it, you know, I feel bad. The pitcher didn't feel bad. The pitcher say, well, we won't make the play. I said, man, I ain't doing that, you know. I couldn't say that. I had to go and on it. I know one day I was sick, stayed home. Gator, Ron Gitry. Gator come to the house, got me out of bed. I had my pajamas on. I come to the ballpark. He said, I just want you to stand up out there. I won't let nothing come to you. I said, nothing come to me. You know, you listen, oh my God, I ain't gonna let nothing come to you. That whole game, 8 innings, I stayed out there. I ended up with 4 hits that day, or 3 hits that day, and took me back home, put me back in bed. You ought to see that's amazing. Put me back in bed. I check on you tomorrow. The next day, catch this same thing. And you know, oh, let's stand up. Let's stand up out here. Stand up out here. Stand up. But see, that was the whole thrill about that. Got them guys. The whole thrill about it. You had guys on that team. They was dominating and they know what they was doing. They didn't know how to play. And you got Willie over there later that learns the game from Pittsburgh and brought it with him. And he was amazing. He could feel the ball, and he started back to hit. So therefore, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys hitting. The DH started to swing the bat. We ain't know what to do. We had so many guys, we didn't know what to do. How you play Lou? How you gonna play Lip Johnson? And at the time, instead of 7-6, like you said, we had Oscar Galma. And you know he could hit the ball out of the ballpark. How you gonna play Roy? So how many guys gonna play in the outfield like that? And that's why we're so successful. We go on the bench. Our bench was more stronger than us. Blame. Guys come up the bench hitting. Guys come up the bench hitting.
Yeah. And Mick, I mean, talk about that magical home run by Chambliss, because in all the years I've watched sports, I don't know if I saw, like, again, I wasn't, I think I was about maybe 4 or 5 months old, but watching reruns and stuff and, you know, all that stuff, I don't know if I've ever seen fans go crazy like they did when that guy hit the home run. I mean, he's lucky he didn't get seriously hurt running those bases.
Well, he was amazing anyway, Chris. We always we always got on each other, teach each other about our swings. Chris used to hit the ball over the shortstop head. Oh my God, this guy, a big man hitting the ball over the shortstop head. But in that joking, end up that day, Chris getting 3 or 4 hits a game. I can believe that. The big man is hitting the ball, and we used to put money in the pot. We put money in the pot when we do something crazy, but that was that kind of team. And he was one of the main guy, to come in there and had a bad swing. Hey, what this guy swinging look like Mom Mabel or something like that? We just kid me. No, we was like that.
Yeah.
Thurman, I remember when Thurman couldn't even get off his knees a couple of times playing, not the kind of playing, but he was so hurt he couldn't get off his knees catching back at the plate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And like I said, again, you had Nels. Only thing you were missing that year, you got, like I say, my homie over there, Bucky, and that kind of glued us. That was kind of glued us right in, because we had Jim Mason, and Bucky come over that kind of sold the defense up for a while. Only thing we just had to do is score a couple of runs. What we had guys pitching comes out, and every time they pitch 5 innings, 6 innings, that was terrible. 5 innings was terrible for them. And our starters go 7 innings, and that was a big key. That year, that was a big key. And like I said, that team that year, everybody just played a part in the field fell right in perfect for us.
Right. And let me ask you, the Reds were so dominant for those 2 years. I mean, you guys obviously got swept. I mean, did you think they were that good, though, that they should have swept you, or do you think you guys could have won a couple?
Well, Michael, one thing, them guys was good anyway, but not playing us. They dominate that league. I didn't know how they got by Philadelphia in the Dodgers that year.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get by them, but they had a guy for every spot out there. Not only that, they had a spot, but that team, them guys, each guy could hit 20 home runs, put it that way.
Yeah.
That's how good
Great
them guys.
team. Yeah.
That team, each guy could hit 20 home runs or better. Foster out there, well, I ain't got to tell you about that. Rickey out there, Drees, these little guys, what you see, what I call, they're gonna hit you 20 and better home runs. Not only Pete, not only Perez, not only Joe Morgan, Concepcion. Hey, and what you gonna say about Bench? You're gonna get you 25 home runs or better with that team, and they showed you. They put 3 pitchers in there, Gentry, and then they got a couple other guys to mix in there, and it was dominant.
Yeah, it definitely was. And let me ask you, Mick, 1977 comes, and I mean, you talk about the Reds, I don't want to say steal away, but you get Don Golet from them, and he was a big contributor that year, won a lot of games for you guys. Of course, you got Reggie, which was the big move, but you also added Bucky Dent, Mike Torres. I mean, did you think that 77 team, I mean, it started a little, I know you guys started off kind of slow, but boy, by July and through the postseason, you guys really just came on like a ball.
Yeah, well, we had everybody scared of us when they go in the ballpark with the team we had. So we know it was dominant. We added that, like you said, we added Reggie, we added Bucky, a couple other pitchers in and out. And that's all we needed. Somebody come in and pitch 5 innings, and they got to win. But on that staff, everybody was just hitting. Everybody could get on base.
And let me ask you, Mickey, I know there was the big book that came out, the Bronx Zoo, all that stuff. And I said this to Gene Monahan yesterday when I had him on, because I really believe it to be true. No matter what might have went on off the field or in the locker room, I never felt like it affected the team's play when they were out there, because these guys, like you talk about Reggie, guess what? Reggie always gave you his very best, in my opinion.
Well, that was a trend of saying that the guy was good. That team was dominant then. Wasn't that going to stop us? Wasn't that going to stop us? Like I said again, you had a spot for everything. Each guy in those spots was dominant. Yeah, like a Nettles. You had Nettles over there.
Unbelievable third baseman. Yeah.
Look at Thurman.
Yeah.
Look at Chris Chambliss.
Yeah. And then, of course, Bucky.
Yeah, look at an outfit. Me, Reggie, Roy, and Lou.
Yeah.
At the time. Look, and that was, you mess around and let Lou play every day, you're going to get you about 15 home runs, too.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention, you all talk about, like, the guys that would come off the bench and contribute. Like, Cliff Johnson was huge. I mean, you had so many guys that you could use in these little spots, and they would just come up so big for you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, that's usually...
we got rid of Carlos Mays, then we had him.
Yeah, and I think Cliff hit over 20 home runs as a backup catcher that year, which is amazing.
And he come out the bench. He didn't play.
Yeah.
We didn't have a spot for him.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how good that team was. And all the talk about Billy and Reggie, and I know it wasn't always good, but I'll tell you what, if you watch that big night when Reggie hit the 3 home runs, who was the first guy congratulating him when he came to the dugout? You look and you see Billy. Billy was happy as can be. And so I think sometimes...
he knows. Well, I thought that was Mr. Steinbrenner again.
Yeah.
Rival.
And
that was all there.
And I wanted to ask you that too. I mean, I know for a manager and for a superstar player it was tough, but how tough was it to play for Mr. Steinbrenner? Because if you weren't doing good, he was going to bash in the papers sometimes.
Mike, my thing about that philosophy on Mr. Steinbrenner, and you know what I did? I always go up there, I ask him for something first. Oh, what you gonna do? You act like you playing lousy. I say, hey, I got 2 hits the other night, and I get 2 tonight.
Yeah.
And I say things like that. He think this guy crazy, and that's the way I feel. He get mad. I say, hey, you worry about what I did last night, what the guys did the other night at night. Let's see how we play the game. Let's see about the game.
Yeah.
We gonna win this game.
And talk to me.
Go out there and win. Let me see you. And, things like that. He'll say something. He'll say it wasn't containing to us playing. He get mad. Hey, you stayed out there. What that got to do with me getting 4 and 5 hits tonight? How about I get 3 hits tonight?
Right. And I know he could be demanding, but at the same time, I mean, like anything else, he did appreciate as time went on what the players did for him. But talk to me what that feeling was like when Mike Torres caught that ball. I know it was a mob scene, so you had to get out of there and get in the dugout. But just talk about what it was like to be a world champion.
Well, it was great. We get Mike over there and do that successful job he's been doing in and out as knowing Mike for a period of time, And I added that to that roster. Again, I thought we was the toughest team out. We had problem with Baltimore, really. We had problem with that year, Seattle, Baltimore, and maybe Cleveland. We couldn't beat them like we wanted to beat them. Other than that, we played all the good teams like Kansas City. It broke even or beat up a game or 2 on top of them. And all the teams that they thought was good, we played great against them. And the team we thought was bad, we couldn't beat them like we wanted to beat them.
And Mick, I mean, talk about a rivalry that you guys had in the 70s in the playoffs. Those games against the Kansas City Royals were some of the best games ever. And you were fortunate to beat them 3 straight playoff series. But I'll tell you, it was like it always came down to the wire.
I beat them because I remember Whitey Herzog over there, the manager over there wanted to get me because he was my manager in California at the end. He said, I'm going to get you over here. I'm going to get you over here. I said, okay. And I used to always talk to him before the games and stuff like that over there.
Right.
I'm gonna get you over here. What you gonna do tonight? Yeah, what you gonna do tonight? But he never got on me for getting hit, coming back the next day that a winner of the game that way. Never, and that was amazing. You know, you figure a man is through with you, you know, but he always welcomed me. And that was my desire to do better and better, better and better.
Right. And Mick, one of the most epic comebacks in baseball was 1978. And one of the things I always heard, and you could confirm this if you want, I always heard that when Bucky Dent fouled the pitch off his leg or whatever, you gave him your bat when he hit the home run. Is that true or false?
That's my homie. That's my homie. You know, I'm gonna take it as my homie. Like I told you again, I know Bucky, probably one of the top players I know over 50-some years that really I know the family that way. And they got me a scholarship through school, got me a little cart to ride around in, got me a job. You know, I got a little job, and the only kind of them. They got me. And each day they keep me from saying, oh, you know, you ain't got to go home. You can do this today with us.
Yeah.
Eat with them, go out, and that to keep me out of trouble. Put it that way. Yeah, they say, oh, you know, you ain't got to go get out of trouble and stuff like that. And I used to take them guys home to my parents' house. I say, okay, my grandma, I made sure she cooked food, and I invited the guys over a couple of times. I said, man, come on, y'all coming over to eat some real good soul food. You know, again, not to try to throw away that, like I said again, Bucky, one of the guys I know before Michael season started.
And I mean, you talk about that 14 games back of the Red Sox, and you guys make, like I said, an epic comeback. I mean, I know when you guys were down by that much, your attitude was, let's just try to win today, right? And see what happens. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah. But you guys really came on, and I mean, God, it's amazing because I don't think we've seen epic comebacks and we've seen some great ones, but I don't know if you'll ever see a team win a division again being 14 games back.
Like I said again, Mike, everybody played their part into that. If you watch them games, everybody put in the 2 cents and they did what it takes to get through them games. And then we had the young guy over there, Brian Doyle. Like I said, I know his family.
And what a World Series he had. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I mean, Willie goes down and he comes in and he does a great job.
Pick right up the spot where you thought we were going to have the low end. That was our best end right there. The key thing to baseball here, Mike, is we had all through the lineup doing the great job. They say the weak point was how you try to put it at the end of your lineup and stuff like that. Weak point didn't have that weak point like that. Most teams have weak point, they're doing it. That was our strong point. All of them was at the bottom of the lineup and they started hitting. We get a lot of hits. They was hit every day. He got in that lineup. He got him a hit or two.
Right. And Mick, I mean, the thing of it is that, I mean, when you get to the postseason, a player always wants to perform there. They don't want to ever let anybody down. And in those 3 years you were in the postseason, you had a lifetime postseason average of 308. So, I mean, you were always clutch when you came up there. And, I mean, I think you would take away any regular season stat to have great postseasons.
Well, Mike, I didn't do too good. I think I did too good that first year again, like you said again. But I didn't know it was tough for Cincinnati. I didn't get a hit up for Cincinnati there, but they kind of intimidate me at the end because I seen all the guys I always talked about and be with in the Winter Cup. We go over there, we watch out. We got a workout program, and we work out with these guys. Pete Rose, you see all them guys, Perez, Concepcion, Dreesen, Griffey. You know, we work out. You know, and against them, I couldn't touch the ball. And that was and I made sure. I said, if it happened to me again, I know we're gonna get there next time. I'm gonna take over. And I told Mr. Steinbrenner that too. I said, look here, I bet you put a check in my lot. From now on, we're gonna win each series we get in.
Yeah, and you guys did. I mean, it was a great back-to-back World Series champions. I mean, so many guys contributed, like we said, and you guys pulled it off when people thought this team was going to fold because
Right.
of all the drama,
Right.
and the drama never affected the team. And Mick, I wanted to ask you this because, again, I wasn't there, so only I can tell by what the guys who played could tell me. But what did you think of that Bronx is Burning movie? Did you think that it told the story, that 77 team, or do you think they fabricate or embellished a lot of it?
They fabricated a little bit. They used a lot of the knowledge from each of the players, that had been perfected. But,
Yeah.
instead of just saying what they thought, they go to somebody else and ask that about them. If they'd have come to the player and asked a couple of opinions, I thought it would have been great, much greater.
Right. And
Yeah.
Mick, halfway through the 79 season, you get traded to Texas, and you were on this great run with the Yankees. I mean, it didn't affect your play. I mean, you had a great season in 1980, I believe, where you had 210 hits. So you still played the game the way you were supposed to, but was it heartbreaking to leave the Yankees?
Yeah, definitely. It was the guys.
Yeah.
It was the guys. You got a taste with the guys, and the guys took care of me. I can't complain. The guys, all the Yankee guys, take care of me anytime I needed some. The guy was firsthand right there with you. You're not only the owner and all the whole staff, everybody. The stadium. Every time I go in the stadium, I say, "Oh, why come I need to park the car right there?" Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take care of everything from head to toe. That's what you lost. That what
Right.
you lost that. But I didn't want to affect the plane. That if I go to another team, I want to be doing the same job I've been doing. I didn't want, I never want to let the team down. I
Right.
wanted I wanted to just do if I have to lose, we're gonna lose a good fashion because I'm going out there getting you 100%. And that's what my trend was. And that's how I teach my kids. That's how I teach the rest of the kids. Look, you out there to do your job. Go out there and do the best you could. Whatever God give you that day to do that.
Right. And Mick, you've been a regular at Old Timers Day for many, many years now. And I mean, it's got to be a great feeling that every time you go there, you still get a big ovation. I mean, these fans, one thing people could never accuse Yankee fans is not appreciating what guys do for them over the years. They might boo them sometimes, but when they come back for Old Timers Day, they always let these guys know they appreciate what they did.
What Mac, one thing you do, what my wife get mad with me about now. I still see the peoples. I still talk to the peoples, no matter what. They're in New York and do a lot of things. I always come back and do a lot of things there in New York for the peoples and the kids. When they have something to done, the Mac don't have the money like that no more to give, but I go out there and I do the program for them.
Right.
And that's what they appreciate. The people appreciate me because I'm number one. I'm around regular. I'm around regular doing this in New York, and I make sure the peoples are happy there.
Right. So, Mick, before we go, one last thing I wanted to ask you. What is the thing you took out of baseball more than anything else? What's the one thing that will always stand out to you the most?
I say, I love peoples, and that's what I probably have my problems with, especially with my wife. She's, it's time for you to do this, but it learned me that self control and learn to love peoples. And it don't make no difference who you are, what you are, or whatever it is. And that's what I got so happy about. Every time I come to that stadium, they give me that welcome. And the people surrounded. Mike, I used to take the kids outside and let them run up and down the street after the game, and whoever beat me running, I give them $50. The next one I give 20. Next one I give 10, and five for the rest, and let it enjoy it and put activities out there. At that old ballpark, we used to have a tournament, and I got Budweiser sponsor that paddleball tournament and get a guy prizes and stuff like that. And I'll be out there myself. Just before the game, I go out there, introduce myself, boom, 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 and I go in the ballpark. But that's what I like. That's what I got out of this, the whole scenario of baseball. It gave me that self pride that this stir in me. that I teach my kids. Hatred ain't get you nowhere. It's the love. The love will get you further than anything else. And that's what you got to gain out. I gain out of baseball. Now I said money, but that got me to my strong point.
Well, Mick, this was a real honor for me. I want to thank you for coming on today. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I'm a lifelong Yankee fan, and my father was a big fan of yours when you played, and I always heard about Mick the Quick, and this was a proud moment for me, and I really do congratulate you on a great career, and I thank you for coming on today. I really do.
No problem, Mike.
Well, folks, that was Mickey Rivers, and to Yankee fans everywhere, he will always be known as Mick the Quick. He's a two-time world champion. He was a big contributor to those 76, 77, and 78 Yankee great teams, and we will never forget him. For In the Spotlight, I'm Mike Kenichi saying good night, everyone.